can't believe that we're going to go from talking about that movie to Turning Red.
Yeah. Turning Red.
To a children's movie. I don't know. Is this a children's movie? There's a lot of controversy online about how it is not a children's movie.
I mean, it's an animated
kids movie. It is an animated movie, but there is some mature.
Yeah.
Well, I say mature, but it's not. I mean.
Well, I think they make that argument with a lot of Inside Out. Inside Out's not a kid. Like at the end of the day, it's meat and potatoes.
At the end of the day, I think
it's for kids.
I think people are upset at the topics it covers versus the actual level of maturity that it is.
So, what did you think of it? I don't know.
I really liked the movie. I liked it a lot because I don't really see a lot of Disney or animated movies tackling adolescence, and puberty, and really, I mean, it's kind of tough to talk about because I'm like, I was not a 12-year-old girl.
Never
went through all of this, but I did turn to my wife afterwards and was like, man, was it that rough? And she was like, yeah, it was the worst. And I was like, God, I just don't, I have no clue, which again, to me, I'm like, I'm happy that someone is saying something so that we can be educated a little bit more.
Yeah.
But though I cannot relate to it, I can still enjoy this movie. It was still a good movie.
You can understand things.
I understand the arc, right? Yeah. And clearly this movie is using symbolism.
But it doesn't even get heavy till the end.
It doesn't. Yeah. It doesn't.
I mean, a lot of it was typical, like, oh, I'm 13, like I'm trying to go see the boy band, hang out with my friends, like I'm
a little rebellious now.
Yeah.
Kind of,
I want to do good. I want my parents to love me.
Yeah, but it's in that point of your life where you're like, I'm no longer a kid who just follows mom and dad's orders around anymore. Now I'm sort of testing out real life.
But I liked when the mom's like, no, you still have to do what I said.
You still have to follow the rules.
You are still like a child. And I think every kid struggles with that because they're like, no, I'm not. Like, I'm
right.
not.
I know. I feel
like, and that's, I think, the hard part. I'm not a parent, but like, I'm assuming that's what the hard part is.
Yeah, but you went through childhood.
Like I did some stuff too. So for you to have to go up to your parents and be like, hey, I'm not a kid anymore.
Yeah.
Is probably like a terrifying thing for a child to have to do.
Yeah. And as a parent, you're like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. Like you don't know anything.
You have no clue what life is about.
Yeah.
But I feel like this movie tackles all of that really well.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it really does explain how during that time you're sort of going through all of these things that one, you can't explain, and two, you can't control. And so a lot of this is just coming out because it's natural because you're a child.
And I bet a lot of parents like kind of like the mom in this movie, like don't see that.
I completely agree.
They don't.
I completely agree.
So I think,
which is really important.
Adults and stuff like dismiss, like, oh, you don't know what you're saying, and they're like,
right.
Oh, I thought this was important to me, but I guess it's not because you're the adult and saying it's not.
Yeah.
So that's what I took a lot from. I'm like, we probably do that to children.
No,
I
completely
and like totally dismiss their feelings.
I completely agree because I think when the mom turns into the red panda herself, it's showing that parents are not listening, right?
Yeah, and her panda was monster,
which
a kaiju.
You tell me that there hasn't been at least one time where you feel like mom or dad has not turned into that giant red panda there.
Yeah, I've seen a couple moments.
There's a couple moments where you're like, my parents are kaijus right now. Yeah, I've had a couple kaiju moments myself.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just, and again, because you feel like as a kid, you're not being heard.
Yeah.
And as a parent, they feel like you're not listening. And so you're like
that's so annoying.
You're like, God, neither one of us are going to win this.
Yeah.
It's an unstoppable force meets an immovable object.
Exactly.
And that's what I loved about this movie. I think it handled it really well.
Which is deep for you. I liked it for a whole
mess of different
reasons. Because I can't. I'm not a 13-year-old girl. I'm not a parent. So it's harder for me. The reason I truly love this movie, I hadn't seen an animated movie in a while.
Man, I'm trying to think of.
I don't remember the last time I saw an animated movie.
Dang, I don't know.
And I'm like, hey, these are fun because they like can like push the bounds that you can't do with normal people. Like have big expression and have the characters act silly and do all this stuff. And I thought her group of friends was really funny because they all had like a different style to them. One would talk like this.
They're so funny.
Another one was like crazy and like running around. I was like, oh, that's so funny that you can do that with like they can run faster and like do all this stuff that like normal movies can't do.
Right.
And I'm like, hey, I forgot how fun animated movies are.
Yeah, I think Encanto was the last one.
I still never saw Encanto.
Oh my god!
But that was another one.
I'm gonna scratch that from this.
that was the one where that was another Hunger Games situation for me, where everyone's like, "You got it," and I'm like, "Now I'm not gonna watch it because you all said I had to."
Well, and that's not the best way to go into a movie anyway, because
and that's to this day I've still never seen the Hunger Games.
But now it's like you can't.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to.
Someone ruined it for you at some point. Yeah, but you don't want to go in being like, "This is the best animated movie ever of all time." Yeah, because then then it gets ruined.
But I loved it. I thought it was super cool.
I had
the Four Town Boys were supposed to be. They're like mirroring like a real life.
Why are they called Four Town? There's 5 of them.
Yeah.
I loved it.
It was all good. It was all good.
And we didn't even talk about how it takes place. It's 2002.
And I was wondering that the whole movie. I was wondering that.
I think it's 2002.
And I was wondering. I didn't know if there was a reason for that. I thought it was cool that it was in Toronto. Like,
I mean, I honestly, I know, right? I was like, man, this is like a mixed bag of things. One, it takes place in the early 2000s. Two, it's about gosh, I don't know. Are they Chinese?
They're Chinese.
They're a Chinese family. Mm-hmm. And then in Canada. So I'm like, there's a lot of things going on here. Like it's a very specific target. And again, it didn't affect me because I still related to a lot of it
from the beginning.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was still very relatable. I mean, from my perspective, because again, we were all kids that we're testing the boundaries.
Disney Pixar does a great job of that. Is this one of the greatest? Like, probably not.
No,
it's
not
still
one of the
pretty
greatest.
good.
Yeah.
I mean,
I had fun with it.
Well, I'll say something later that I was about to say.
Oh, shoot. All right.
Can't do that now, though.
Oh, okay.
Towards the end of the episode. We'll just say it was good. We won't compare it to anything else.
All right, fine.
We won't say it was better than something.
All right.
We won't say it's a matchup of anything. Well,
interesting.
We got time.
Interesting.
I liked it.
One last question though about the movie is: did you like the animation style?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was very anime-ish.
Yeah, it was. There were moments of anime-ish. Yeah. There was some times where it reminded me of the Peanuts movie. Like it reminded me of like that kind of like
drawing.
Yeah, that same kind of drawing.
Great movie. Yeah. But
it reminded me of the Peanuts movie a lot.
I guess I didn't notice that.
I don't know why. And maybe if I saw them side by side, not so much. But when just like because it's not smooth movements, right? Like
it's very like animated.
Yeah, like some of them are very very.
When they walk, they like walk like this.
Yeah, it's not very. So which again I really enjoyed. It felt like again it was mimicking an adolescent being in their own head, right? Yeah. Like this is what it feels like to me.
Yep.
This is from my perspective. This is what I think is happening in real life, and that's why I really enjoyed it.
The boys like it?
They did, but for them,
said it was scary.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So for them, it's old. It's which is ironic because
I asked that because that's how I can tell if it is a kid's movie.
Right.
If a child doesn't.
So it's ironic that a movie like Encanto is where the people are meant to be real people was more kid friendly than this movie, which had an animation style that you would assume would be more kid friendly, but was not.
Interesting.
And because the content of this movie was a little scary for them, and again, there's a lot of things they don't understand. So to them, it's just images on the screen because they have no idea what they're talking about.
That's true.
So is it a little kids movie? I don't think so.
Is it a movie for a 13-year-old?
8, 9, 10 even, I think would be okay. But yeah, it's, I have a 4 and a 6-year-old, and I don't think they understood anything.
Yeah.